function, that's going to help you a lot, because I have that question on the midterm also, and you will see I posted a practice midterm, so make sure that you work through that, but it's the same thing, with a filter function. You're basically just filtering out the rows that you are interested in that satisfy a certain condition, and so you can create a new data frame that's of interest for you.
Okay. And then, so where I really had the difficulty was with 2.3, is create a
Okay.
histogram using the ggplot function to plot the sepal length based on the category variable species.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. So that's so basically so you know that in R you can create, very easy built-in histogram. I'm going to share my screen here real quick and then I'll show you. Um, okay. Can you see my screen?
yeah, I can.
Okay, so R has some built-in functions. Let's say you have a variable X, and let's say it's grades. Let's say 67, 90. Let's do 90 and then 77. Okay, so let's say this is my data set, and then you can use the built-in function HIST, which just stands for hist. And so, so there it is. You can see it's just a frequency distribution that tells you, the frequency of each event, basically. But with the ggplot2 package, basically how R works is people contribute to R, and they create the programs and they save it in these packages. And
Hmm.
so some of these are more advanced, and so the ggplot2, that is this package here, it even says here it will create elegant data visualizations using the grammar of graphics, so if you use that with the dplyr, which is more for data manipulation, that could be very helpful, if you do data mining and data visualization and even data analysis. So let me pull up that question. So basically, what I want you to do here is, let's just get to the class here. The thing is, the ggplot function is actually a way to create layered or stacked histograms. So that's when you have more than one categorical variable and you want to compare them.
Hmm.
So in that case, the iris, if you pull up the iris data set, you can just type it into RStudio, and you will see it basically has your sepal length. So you're looking at these flowers, basically, the sepal width, and then the petal length and the petal width. And you're looking at different species. So they have the species here. And so basically, what I am asking you to do, let me just see exactly what I'm asking. This was project 2, right? So I'm asking you to find the, okay, so, this is just an example, and you can just follow this example. So basically you need to load your ggplot2 package. You can also just load it by selecting it like I did here, but you can also type in library ggplot2, and then you'll be able to use that ggplot function. So, so you might just want to work through this example. You can just use, you're going to use the same code. So you can just copy and paste this, and then, so let's see. So basically, what's going on here is, first of all, you will call your data. That's typical in R. So first you call your data, that's the iris data set. And then this AES, that stands for aesthetics. So this is where you're going to tell the function what you're trying to graph. So in this case, you want to graph the sepal width. That's what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that is this variable here. Let's see, sepal width is there. So it's going to be these values. So that's what you're going to graph. And then you are going to add this fill equals species, which means it's going to fill it based on the species. So the frequency of your species. So you can see here, those are the three species that you have. And that, so it's basically color coded now.
Okay.
That's your legend there. And so then this little plus here. So if you would, I'm going to delete that, and I'm just going to do geom. And you will see that if you do that, there will actually be several options that come up here. And these are all the types of plots that you can use. So you can do like a box plot, you can do a density plot, you have all these other options. But for now, since we haven't done a lot of other plots yet, we're just going to use the geom, and then we're going to do histogram. So let's see, where is that at? Histogram, there it is. And yeah, so that's the code that you will use. But if you wanted to graph something else, then you can literally just type in geom and then underscore, and then it will provide you with the options. You can graph any of those. So what I'm asking is, so that's for the sepal width. So what I'm asking is, I say, create a histogram to plot the sepal length. Okay, so I just ask you to to plot the sepal length. So you can use the exact same code. I would just copy it, and then. So what are you going to change here? We're still using the iris data set, right? So we're going to keep that part as it is. Then in my aesthetics, I'm going to make x equal to what?
Sepal but dot length.
Yes. So then you're gonna, and you have to just make sure that you type it exactly as the variable is given. So sepal dot length, yeah. So make sure that you capitalize the L. R is case sensitive. So, and then you're still going to fill by species, because I'm asking the exact same thing. I'm saying to plot the sepal length based on the categorical variable species. So it's exactly the same than, what I did up here. So you're just going to change that variable. And yeah, and that should be it. And you're still going to add this geom histogram, and yeah, so there it is. So that's how it's going to look like, and again, this is just the frequency distribution telling you what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not very difficult. And if you take a look at the practice midterm, I have something very similar. I probably just asked petal length, and I'm going to do something very similar in the midterm. So make sure that you memorize this code. Make sure that you go through the midterm. The coding part will be different than the theory part. So, and you can take the coding, and you don't have to take it consecutively. The coding is a different test than the theory.
Okay. That makes.
Yeah. Yeah, so really just work through the practice midterm, make sure that you understand the code and what's going on there. And then like I said, the midterm, I copied the practice midterm, and I just changed the data sets on the midterm. So it's going to be very similar to the practice midterm.
Okay.
Yeah. And, if you've done these projects, then you should be fine with it. There shouldn't be any issue, because then you've already gone through it once, try to do the midterm without looking at the code, then you did it twice. So by the time you take the midterm, do the practice midterm, and then by the time you take the midterm,